Wetin concern IMF concern fuel subsidy for Nigeria. What is the business of IMF and fuel subsidy in Nigeria? For several years, in fact, all through the 8 years of Buhari, the IMF and the World Bank kept pushing Buhari to remove fuel subsidy. Sorry, scratch that. To increase the pump price of petrol. Now, somehow they got Tinubu to dance to their tune. And on day one, Tinubu says he has removed fuel subsidy. Fuel subsidy gone. And then they increased the pump price of petrol. Devalued the naira. Two things that the IMF loves so much. In fact, Tinubu threw in a third one, privatization. Electricity privatization, increasing the tariffs of electricity, increasing school fees of government university. So they were happy. Tinubu increased the pump price of petrol. But that continued barely 6 months. All we started hearing again is the IMF and the World Bank came and started shouting, fuel subsidy is back, fuel subsidy is back. Now here is where it is interesting and things look very, very fishy. The NNPC Limited Chief Financial Officer came on national TV to say categorically that for the past 9 years, NNPC has not paid a dime as fuel subsidy to anybody. That what they have is an agreement or an arrangement between themselves and the federal government on managing shortfalls. Take note of that, shortfalls. Shortfall is not subsidy. I explained this in details in another video. Shortfall is not subsidy. So the chief financial officer comes on national TV and says that for the past 9 years, NNPC has not paid a dime as fuel subsidy to anybody. That the arrangement is between NNPC and the federal government. So my question to IMF and World Bank, Wetin concern una? This is a matter purely between the federal government and NNPC Limited. How does this affect you? How does it benefit you? How does it, if it doesn't benefit you, how does it cause you pain? These are the questions. So when we ask these questions, it becomes clear that really the IMF and the World Bank just do not want the peace of mind, the progress of countries like Nigeria. They don't. There's a woman that said it, the video is viral on the internet, that the IMF and the World Bank, they exist. They can only exist if Africans fail. They can only succeed when Africans fail. So, can we juxtapose that or just extract from that statement that IMF and World Bank are only trying to make sure that Nigeria fails by forcing the president or the leadership of Nigeria to increase the pump price of petrol, devalue the naira, so that they can succeed? Is that what they're trying to do? Because I don't see how it take concern them. I don't see it. Except that, is it possible that the IMF wants to succeed, but in order for them to succeed, Nigeria and indeed Africa must fail? This is one message from the statement of the CFO of NNPC that must not be swept under the carpet. There is no change or exchange of money. No money changes hands. Government does not pay oil marketers. NNPC does not pay oil marketers. the CFO said this much. So it becomes clear. But what I still don't understand is how this one take concern IMF and World Bank. Why are they so interested in making sure that Nigerians continue to suffer and they hide behind remove fuel subsidy? I don't get it. And what I still don't get also is how Nigerians can still blindly be supporting and insisting that Tinubu is paying fuel subsidy. No money changes hands. It's only shortfalls. And please, stop arguing in defense of what it is not. If the NNPC CFO says they are not making any payment, do you want to know more than the CFO? Do you want to cry more than the bereaved? Can any oil and gas expert possibly know more than the CFO of NNPC? Nigerians, this is proof that NNPC does not pay for fuels, does not pay fuel subsidy. We have been screaming this for years. But what do we do now? Now that we have the proof from the horse's mouth that NNPC does not pay fuel subsidy, what do we do? What can we do? Do we continue to suffer and smile and wait for 2027 to vote them out? Or can we take actions right now? We can't take actions right now. We can begin to write petitions to the EFCC, to the police, to the ICPC. Write petitions. We must begin to shine light on the activities of the NNPC. The NNPC is too secretive. The darkness in the NNPC is too much. How many of you know that the NNPC has the capacity to sell Nigeria's crude oil in the international black market? How many of you know that? How many of you know that it is very, very possible that the NNPC, in conjunction, in collusion with the international oil marketers in their joint venture partnership, very, very possible for them to extract 4 million, 5 million barrels of crude oil per day. How many of you know that? It is very, very possible for them to extract that much. They can extract 4 million barrels per day. They can extract 3.5 million barrels per day. Then the OPEC quota is 2.5 million barrels. They can sell the OPEC quota at 2.5 million barrels in the OPEC quota per day. And then they can still come back to Nigeria and declare that they only sold 1.5 million barrels per day on the OPEC quota. They can lie that much because who are we to know? It is NNPC that does all of this. And because the payments that NNPC receives is outside of Nigeria's banking system, no way to verify. Except you go to the destination ports and then subpoena documents. That's how you know. And people have done this before. So they can extract 4 million barrels per day of crude oil, sell 2.5 million barrels per day on the OPEC platform, declare that they only sold 1.5 million barrels per day, and declare that as their profit or their revenue on their, what do you call it now? On their, why am I forgetting this? On their audited accounts. Audited accounts can be doctored. We all know this. In fact, audited accounts are definitely doctored because in banks, for instance, audited accounts, there is an audited account for the consumption of the management of the company. There's an audited account that is meant for outsiders. So it's very, very possible that NNPC could doctor the audited account to suit the narrative that they want to drive. But then again, the remaining 1.5 million barrels outside of OPEC quota can be sold on the international black market. And that money will be paid into pockets of their agents or their proxies, or even into the account of the NNPC, but it's outside of Nigeria's banking system. And so we will not know. We won't know. So the NNPC can come and give excuse and say that Our oil has been used to borrow our money. They sell it up front. Do you know how many billion liters of crude oil, barrels of crude oil we have as reserve? Did somebody tell you that there's a limit to the amount of crude oil that can be extracted on a daily basis? Only NNPC has this information. And from the way they go about it, you can tell the arrogance of somebody like Mele Kyari, the overconfidence. If it's not arrogance, then it's overconfidence. When he appeared before the Senate to say, you can probe me. You can probe me. In fact, the next hearing you want to have, I want it to be televised, live. God will help you, Mele Kyari. Let me not be in that hearing. God will help you. And maybe I'll be in that hearing and they will not allow questions from the gallery, except that. Then you will know that you should not be as overconfident as you are being. You cannot be. We need to shine light on the activities of NNPC. We need to shine light on the activities of Mele Kyari. I don't understand why Tinubu will leave Mele Kyari as Group CEO of NNPC. When it is obvious, on the one hand, Tinubu complains that the Buhari administration messed up the economy. And one of the key people that messed up that economy under Buhari was who? Mele Kyari, Emefiele. And then you come back, you pursue everybody else, and then you keep Emefiele. Why? This is the question that nobody is asking. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, why did you keep Mele Kyari? Why did you keep Mele Kyari as Group CEO of NNPC when it's obvious that the NNPC has not been transparent, has been mismanaged? When you compare it to Petrobras, you compare it to Saudi Aramco, it's obvious. Why did you keep ineptitude? Why did you continue? Is there something that Nigerians need to know? Is it that you know about the possible shady dealings that can go on in the NNPC and you want it to continue so you can benefit from it? Is that why? Because I can't understand. When people fail, you sack them, you get people who are more competent. Why didn't you get somebody to replace Mele Kyari? Why? And then you must also now come to explain to Nigerians why you will say you approved money to be paid as fuel subsidy payment when your NNPC, through their CFO, comes out to say that they have never paid any dime to anybody. In fact, what they do is shortfalls. Not even subsidy. Subsidy is not shortfall. Let nobody deceive you, fellow Nigerians. Subsidy is not shortfall. You talk of subsidy when you have to pay to buy something and then sell. But you talk of shortfall when you don't have to pay for something, but you could have sold it at a higher price, but you sell it at a lower price. That is shortfall. But whether you sell it at a higher price, you sell it at a lower price, you don't incur any loss because you did not pay for the product in the first place in cash. Nigerians will need to begin to take actions. On the short term, petitions, use of Freedom of Information Act, on the short term. But on the long run, we need to kick this set of leaders out. We have had enough of them. The same set of leaders being recycled all the time, and we want a different result. The same set of leaders. It's time to change them. Can't they see that they have failed? Or they know they have failed, but they don't want to. They are enjoying the corrupt system. So it is up to you, it is up to me to make sure that we retire them in 2027. And the only way that can happen is through we, the people of Nigeria, forming a new political party. We have to come together and organize to form a new political party. That's the only way we kick these people out. That's the only way we get credible leaders, patriotic leaders, leaders that will put Nigeria first, not their pockets. That's the only way we get it. The current political system is designed for big money politics. It's designed for the highest bidder. Even the small political parties, not just the big ones. Labour Party has joined in too. But we need a network of Nigerians that are patriotic. And it can only happen in a new political party. Join us. There's a link in the description. Click it. Join us. Let us form this party together. Let us form it together. With clearly stated ideologies, clearly stated punishment for breach of those ideologies, including recall. We need to do this. If we don't, they'll continue to mess us up. People like the IMF will continue to meddle in our affairs and continue to push us in the wrong direction. Their only success, the success that they seek, or they can only succeed when we fail. And they are making sure that we fail by pushing that we increase pump price of petrol again. That's all they are doing. Because the group CFO of NNPC has said that it's not like they pay fuel subsidy to the IOCs. They don't. They don't pay fuel subsidy to the marketers. They don't. So if IMF is now coming to be pushing that fuel subsidy is back, what it only means is that they will soon come and say, okay, the fuel subsidy payment you are making is too much. Already they are saying it's 6.8 trillion. You need to remove it so that you can put that money into palliative. You can put that money into this, into that. Anybody who tells you that is an enemy of Nigeria. They will now come and tell you, remove fuel subsidy, increase it to 1,800 naira per liter. That's what they are driving at. And in somehow, the fuel scarcity we're experiencing now, one of the persons in NNPC has come out to say it's because of thunder, it's because of rain. Why thunder no go just fire these people immediately? As they are saying such lies and cooking such lies for Nigerians, why can't thunder just fire them immediately? Why can't God just give them instant punishment like Ananias and Sapphira? Because they will claim they are Christians, they will claim they are Muslims. Why can't they just get instant punishment? Even the juju now is not working. Why can't Amadioha just strike that person for telling such blatant, lame excuse to Nigerians? Why? That's because of rain. So it's only in Nigeria that rain affects transfer of petrol from mothership to daughtership. Come on. Come on. Nigerians, we have our work cut out for us. We must organize. I'm waiting for you in the description. Please check the link and click it. Join us. Let us create this new political party. Let us begin to organize now. Now. To kick out these low-cost leaders. Let us start now before it is too late.